Between 1.95 million and 11.7 million. Yes, let me just give you that number again. Between 1.95 million and 11.7 million is the potential revenue from self-funding families for any one care or nursing home in the UK. Now, how did I get to that number? Yes, I will tell you that in a moment. But the reason why it's important that you know and useful for you to know is it's only when you know what the total reachable revenue from self-funding families is for your care home. Only when you know that will you know how well or not you are securing interest from that total reachable number of families and ultimately revenue. So let me just be clear on how I got to that number. It's based on a mix of facts and data, and also my own deductions, and also some knowledge from speaking to experts in the care sector who know a little bit more about this, elements of this than I do. So let me just go through the numbers. So what we do know is that there are 126,000 self-funded beds, that's private beds, for care and nursing homes in the UK. That's 126,000. And what we also know is that there are 42 counties in the UK. And of course, yes, some counties are bigger than others, some are more populous than others. We have metropolitan areas, and again, there is a distinct variation, a variability, but that's the number that we have. And if it's considered that there are 10 catchment areas per county, very much on average, and as I say, this is an approximation. If you feel you have and know you have better data than me on helping calculate these numbers, then please let me know in the comments. It'd be great to have a look at those. So if we consider there are roughly approximately 10 catchment areas per county. What I mean by catchment area, I mean if your care home is within an area, you will have a catchment area. So I'm presuming and estimating there are on average 10 catchment areas per county, which would mean, based on the 126,000 number that we know, is there are around about 3,000 on average prospective reachable self-funding families in any one county. So from that we can make a deduction. And again, this is a real approximation, but again, it's a number that is a good starting basis for you. And that number is that for any one care home, there are between 50 and 300 prospective self-funding families, that's private families, in your catchment area. That's between 50 and 300. Now, what I do know is that some care homes may have a prospective self-funding families of 600, 700 plus. Those obviously in the more affluent areas of the country, whereas others, homes in much poorer areas may have as little as 30, 40 prospective self-funding families in your catchment area. So there is a huge variation, but as a starting block, as a real approximation, we could go between 50 and 300. So going further with this calculation, let's say that your average or your self-funding fee is £750 per week for a self-funding private bed. Times that by 52, that's 39,000 per year. And again, using that 39,000 per year, if you times that by 50, that's 1.95 million. And if you times it by 300, you get to 11.7 million. So you can see how, therefore, I've got to that number of between 1.95 million and 11.7 million, very much on average, depending on your home, the competition, and how the socioeconomic status of the catchment area of your home. But that's how I got to that number, and it's really, really important for you to know, as I said straight from the top, because it gives you, therefore, an idea of to what extent you are reaching that prospective market per year, and an idea, and you can start to go deeper into those numbers depending upon what proportion of your present residents are self-funded, and an understanding of some of what your competitors' numbers may be. If you start to think about it and start to have a clarity on some of those essential numbers, you can then start to think about how well or not you are endeavoring to reach out and get noticed and promote your care home to that prospective families and that potential revenue. And again, when it starts to be like 5 million plus per year in particular, then it's well worth thinking about how you're trying to reach that market. So I hope that helps. Please, if you have any particular information or data to give me, please, I'd be most grateful to see it and understand more about it. So just please put it all in comments and subscribe to this channel if this video was useful, and thanks for your time.